Hi, movies recapped here. Before we start, warning. Spoilers ahead. Today, I will clarify a 2017 Russian activity and sci-fi film called Guardians. The film starts with the recording during the virus war where a mysterious association called Patriots are doing human investigations to reinforce the nation's military. Every one of the chosen volunteers is given a novel godlike power, for example, changing into a monster, also controlling rocks. In the current day, to take out the precariousness and irregularity of people, various independent contender robots are seen exhibiting their capacities in front of the public authority agents to recognize an ideal article and straightforwardly annihilate it. They are additionally quick and effective, making them have the option to avoid adversaries' assault without any problem. The robots out of nowhere continue all alone and they approach the control room, sending off rockets towards it and killing every one of the delegates in there. Not long later, a cyborg named Kuratov appears, uncovering that he is the person who controlled the warrior robots prior. In view of the disastrous occasion, the Service of Safeguard directs an earnest meeting, where the general uncovers that Kuratov was liable for the Patriots project. The program was a major achievement and one of Kuratov's partners started a subsequent task called Module 1, an undertaking that permits somebody to control all vehicles from a distance without contacting it. In any case, Module 1 was a major disappointment. Kuratov and his partner had to end the project, however he was so aggressive and chosen to take the examination consequence of eminent Professor Viktor Golbanov. From that point forward, he subtly did a progression of hereditary exploration all alone, prompting the demise of honest individuals who were being utilized as test subjects. The military chose to capture him in his lab. Kuratov stowed away in a room and endeavored to collect a bomb, causing a tremendous blast. In any case, he made do as his body was covered with synthetic substances. Thus, he acquired gigantic power and ultimately changed into a cyborg structure while making do to finish the Module 1 undertaking, permitting him to have the option to control vehicles. In the interim, Kuratov shows up at a stockroom where military vehicles are being kept. With his power, he figures out how to start and control the trucks without contacting them, preparing to fabricate his own military. The general clarifies that the best way to beat Kuratov is to find and convince the godlike people from the Patriots venture to help them. Subsequently, Major Elaine Lorena is delegated to lead the mission. She goes into the Patriots control room where she promptly arranges her group to find each and every Patriots supernatural people. Before the overall leaves, he reasons that the group that will be framed after all the supernatural people are being observed will be named as Guardians. The group does a profound hunt all through the whole information base, online media, and surprising reports. They gradually figure out how to recover the information and at last find the godlike people, individually. Elena and the group quickly head over to the main godlike hideaway in a secret church where Elena faces Lur, a man whose superpower is to control stone. He at first won't join the group, yet she offers him the opportunity to vindicate on Kuratov, who tormented him while in the analysis. They then, at that point, go to a desert where Khan, who is outfitted with bended blades and super speed superpower, effectively takes out Elena's men. After Lur persuades him, he chooses to join the group to search out vengeance. In a separated woods, they approach Arceus, who can change into an enormous and solid bear. The fourth and last godlike people, Xenia, can become imperceptible submerged. The group stands up to her at the behind the stage where she and Khan take part in a short battle. Not long later, Lur and Arceus appear and urge her to join the group to overcome Kuratov. The Guardians, which comprises of 4 supernatural people, is at last framed. Xenia uncovers that all the supernatural people can't become old. The military figures out how to find Kuratov and they are given the first undertaking to catch him in an old industrial facility where a ton of Kuratov's men are watching. Tragically, the correspondence with the control room is sliced off and godlike people need to continue all alone. Arceus, in his bear structure, and Khan battle the Watchmen while Xenia and Lur slip into the structure. In any case, Kuratov and his men know about the snare and have arranged a few snares to catch the supernatural people. Xenia is distinguished and becomes frozen. On the opposite side, Lur is trapped, yet he makes do to impede every one of the shots by shaping the stones as his protection and wipes out Kuratov's men without any problem. Kuratov at long last shows up and fights Lur in a 1-versus-1 battle. Tragically, the cyborg is a lot more grounded than anticipated and figures out how to overwhelm the rough person. He thumps Lur out without any problem. Outside, Khan is incapacitated while Arsus gets caught with a unique web. Kuratov offers the Guardians to go along with him so they can manage the world together, yet at the same the godlike people decline, which makes him disillusioned. The Guardians, aside from Lur, are detained and are given 24 hours to re-examine their choice. Elena shows up after the expected time at the production line, tracking down Lur lying oblivious on the ground. Kuratov then, at that point, goes to a tactical office, showing that he has accumulated his own military and troops. The soldiers unleash destruction on the city, driving the military to empty individuals. They even take a pinnacle that sends signs to the old Soviet satellite. Abruptly, a tactical delegate named Nikolai, who released the trap plan to Kuratov, shows up furthermore asks Kuratov for a prize, yet the cyborg chokes him absurdly. Kuratov plans to move the pinnacle to a higher spot which will permit him to control each vehicle from one side of the planet to the other when it has arrived at the advantageous tallness. Lur at long last stirs and offers his tragic tale about having to see his friends and family bite the dust since the capacity keeps him from going downhill. Not long later, an educator, who is Kuratov's previous colleague, approaches Elena and chooses to help her as he gets that mankind is in danger. He uncovers Kuratov's mysterious lab inside the old plant and the group in the long run figure out how to free the excess Guardians while the teacher endeavors to fix Lur. Arsus lets Elena know that he really has found Xenia, since 8 years prior, however chooses to keep a distance as he understands that she lost her memory. He is likewise apprehensive that sooner or later he will for all time transform into a bear, so he requests to converse with the teacher. Elena vows to help him. The educator is shipped off the old industrial facility to concentrate on one of Kuratov's clones. Tragically, Kuratov defies him there, and delivers the toxic substance gas which quickly kills him. In the interim, the pinnacle is at long last introduced on the highest point of Federation building in Moscow and Kuratov starts to reroute the satellite to Earth's circle. Elena's man uncovers Kuratov's genuine plan to assume control over all correspondence satellites, so he can handle all vehicles on the planet with a gadget from Module 1 Venture. A few airplanes are shipped off interfere with Kuratov's arrangement, however, get obliterated effectively as they attempt to enter the electromagnetic safeguard. Elena observes Khan, who surrendered and left Guardians, and urges him to rejoin the group. To build Guardians' battling effectiveness, Elena grants them unique suits and weapons. Arsus is given a versatile big guns that can naturally recognize the objective in light of their hostility, while Xenia's suit permits her to be imperceptible in each circumstance she wants and furthermore can bring any item she contacts into undetectable. Lur gets a unique suit and a weapon that can produce electromagnetic motivations since his capacity was killed by Kuratov. At long last, Khan's suit and weapons are overhauled, permitting him to obstruct each approaching harm, including slugs and blades. They participate in preparing to become accustomed to their new extraordinary suits and weapons. Gradually yet certain, they figure out how to successfully use their garments and weapons while joining them with their superpower. Just having 1 hour to stop Kuratov, the Guardians promptly go to Moscow while the tactical sit tight for their sign prior to sending off rockets towards the city. Lur battles a few warriors in a storm cellar parking spot with his electric whip while Xenia and Arsus advance through the roads, wiping out the arising officers. Arsus changes to his subsequent bear structure which makes him more grounded and quicker, permitting him to obliterate a few robots. They get inside the structure, and pull together with Lur in the lift. They attempt to arrive at the transmitter tower, yet are faced by Kuratov's men. Confrey tumbles from the plane and cuts the line, making every one of the troopers tumble down. They arrive at the power wellspring of the safeguard where Xenia volunteers for the task to close down the generator. She figures out how to do it and the safeguard promptly vanishes, making her get harmed. The Guardians go up against Kuratov at the highest point of the pinnacle and fight him once more. Notwithstanding, they are as yet incapable to overcome him, even after Xenia and Lur consolidate their powers. Arceus changes into his subsequent bear structure once more, yet gets taken out effectively by the cyborg. Khan connects a catching rope on an arising plane, and saves the Guardians from the pinnacle since he discovers that the military has sent off the rockets. Be that as it may, Kuratov figures out how to control the plane, compelling Khan to remove the catching rope and they fall into a stream. Elena shows up at the battling scene and cautions them to escape since the rockets are as of now coming. Tragically, Kuratov figures out how to control the rockets and they detonate overhead. Elena then, at that point, uncovers that the Guardians can join all their energy in delivery and impact, yet it is excessively dangerous for them. They consent to face the challenge. Arceus, Khan, and Xenia contact Lur while he creates an huge impact, pointing it toward the pinnacle. The pinnacle and the supporting high-rises break down, making Kuratov tumble absurdly. Notwithstanding, the impact depletes all Guardians' energy as all of them lay on the ground. They in the end recuperate and get together with Elena on a scaffold where the Guardians choose to reside, typically in the general public. Before they leave, Elena uncovers that she has tracked down another Guardians. Buy in to observe more recordings like this, turn on notices, and pass on a like to take care of the channel. Thank you for watching.